I have a deep ideological admiration for the Kennedy family, and certainly have they've left a huge indelible mark on not only myself but my siblings, and certainly had on my father. I was named after JFK. Yeah, I was the only of the 12 children. I was the only one my dad was allowed to name. My mom named the other 11 kids, and I was named John after John Kennedy, because I was born 6 months after he was assassinated. You know, my dad was always involved in politics, and so you know, we grew up with the Kennedys. We grew up with portraits of the Kennedys in the house, and I found Bobby to be a much more compassionate brother than JFK was, much more interesting. And then after JFK died, Bobby did this whole metamorphosis. Bobby was so affected by his brother's assassination that he became this compassionate, liberal, became this guy who went from being this hardcore guy who was going after law enforcement, guy who was going after Sam Giancana and going after the mob and going after everybody. All of a sudden he became the conscience of America. Bobby came to Columbus, had a huge day in Columbus, May 14th I think it was. And Ethel had spent the morning talking with my dad about their large families, and the fact that she was pregnant with her 11th child, and I'm the youngest of my dad's 12 children. Bobby sent him this telegram congratulating him and saying, hopefully our responsibilities grow with the size of our families. You know, then what 2.5 weeks later, he's assassinated in California after he wins the California primary. When he got off the podium that day, he was supposed to go one way. There were some kids that were having a good time when he was in the direction he was supposed to go. There were too many kids having a ruckus and having a good time, so he turned around and went the other way. And because he turned around and went the other way, they had to go through the kitchen. And when they went through the kitchen, that's where the guy was with the gun. It was just a totally coincidental thing. And you know, if he'd have gone the way that he was supposed to go, it would have never happened. When I talked to my dad about JFK's assassination, he had all kinds of, you know, thoughts and ideas about what happened and why, and he had all kinds of, you know, anger about it, and he had all kinds of, you know, all kinds of opinions. When I asked him about Bobby's assassination, he just had sadness.